Hello everyone, welcome back to our another session of Masterclass, and today's session name is Detailed Platform Walkthrough. In this session, I'm going to show you all the features and functionalities of our platform DronaHQ, as well as uh, build an email sending app around the idea that we have collected data from an event in the past and curated a whole list for our potential customers and want to send them email one by one to them to create a lead or to create a relation with them. So this whole app will include using the action flows, like for server side action as well as client side action. And apart from this, we will also be leveraging the use of OpenAI to curate the email body and subject. So right now in front of me, as you can see, I'm in my home page of DronaHQ, and so from here we can build own app, and this is very much straightforward that you can just simply click on a blank app and it will just ask you to provide few details like app name and description and provide a template and it will create you a totally blank app without anything added to it. Now, in case if you already have an app in a JSON format available in your local system and you want to import it, you can also do that by simply clicking on import app. And finally, we have widgets. So widgets are like small modules specially built to perform separate tasks, types of functions, and produce a single output. Now, these widgets are very handy. They can be used multiple times and in any app you are building in your, let's say, DroneHQ, or you can also use it directly into your website. So moving on to on our left hand side, we have our connectors section. Now in the connectors section, you can see the list of all the added connectors, as well as you can click here and click on connector. You will see a list of the databases as well as third party APIs. You can connect to any of one of them. So in this session, I'm going to use PostgreSQL using Superbase. We have two more options to connect to import from a JSON as well as to import from AWS. Now, import from JSON is much similar to what I have said earlier for our app. Also, need to have all the details of configuring a connector saved in a JSON format, and you can just simply import it. Have import from AWS, and in this, you have to make sure that the AWS credential has already been saved in your DronaHQ account, and if it is so, then you can select what type of database resource type you want to fetch or you want to connect. So you can Postgres, MySQL, MariaDB, and select the AWS region for it, and then the data. Created a demo app for you guys to understand how this app will perform and look like. So in front of me, I already have this app of lead generation. Let me click on preview. Now on the left hand side, I have this table grid with all the details, and when I click on any one of the rows, it will provide me the detailed views on the right hand side in a nice container with all the details like name, company location, update for latest update, whether it is a yes or a no, and then we have email address, country code, mobile number, and also the job title with company name. So the next uh, the next part is once you have selected any of the rows whom you want to contact, click on contact. And the left hand side, we have a tray opened up and it is currently generating the email subject and body. So you can see that a perfect subject has been generated with the help of OpenAI in connector. So drive efficiency with DronaHQ and a well formatted email body we are receiving here, like dear Jane Smith, with some context like where we have met and who am I, and also a nice greeting in the end. Now you can see right here there is a section to write prompt. So prompt we have added this feature. Let's say if you want to add some extra information to the whole body. So this prompt will help you to make those changes. Let's try. So here you can see that there is a sentence added like Drona HQ is planning some promotional offers on this month. So this is what I'm talking about when we are using prompt in this feature as this feature. So now in the next step, if I just click on send email, it will send email to jane.smith@email.com. And if he had opted for the latest update as yes, then he would also receive an extra email. So that we will discuss it later in this video. So let's just dive into building our own app. A whole blank app, you can on the left hand side, you can just drag and drop from the whole list of controls we have here, and also you can select from the marketplace too in case you are not able to find anything. So you have different options to select from in the marketplace also. Next, to fasten up the app structure and building process, we can use ready templates. Now, ready templates are provided from DronaHQ, which is like a screen with an ideal theme and added controls, and you can say some of the few functionalities available there. Now, to select a ready template, you can just find it on the builder view, select a ready template. You will have couple of options right here. Like these are like page templates, not the whole app template, but page template. So whatever you choose from here will be like selected for this particular screen itself. Now for this, we'll be using two column with a form template. Now just click on use. I can see that table grid is right in front of me and then enable format and also button. I want to get all the details from my database. So what you can do is like either you can go back to your studio and here you can connect to your connector of PostgreSQL and provide a consistent string, host, port name, database, and all these things, and continue from right here, or you can continue from here also. Just simply click this click table grid control and click on select the query one. Now, you can also add connector right from the page too. So let me just so in this Postgres connector of customer details, I have selected get all lead query. Now to check the query, let's click on edit and see that it is just a simple SQL query. Select star from lead management. And if I run this query, I'm getting all the sorts of details. Now, if you want to add some more query, you can just click on add query and it will open up the query builder for PostgreSQL and you can write your query. Now, you can see that there is a small feature right here called as AskAI. Now, AskAI is very important tool provided by DronaHQ to make your development page much easier and faster. Now, let's say uh, I don't have any knowledge on what to write in SQL, but I have little bit knowledge how to what is a variable, how to state a variable, how to write a string text, right? So let me ask AI now. Let's ask. You have three options. You can either use the query or copy as well as fill. So let's use this query and click on. Now you can see that it is fetching me all the details which have CC as IN in it. Now you can use this Ask AI feature to write much more complicated queries. You just have to keep the table name, the column name, and the syntax right, the operator syntax especially. So instead of save, I don't want to save this query, but this was a additional feature. Now moving on to our table grid. Now we have, let's say what we have in the data. That's contained. Okay. So the data we are getting right here is in this format ID 103 email ID and all this. Now in here transform response you can run this first. Uh, Now in the JavaScript I want to do some transformation in this data which I have right here. So the transformation I want is that in this CC I don't want it to be in a string anymore. I want this to be in a numerical. I want this to be a numeric value. Like for India we use plus 91, and for most of the US state we use plus one. So similarly, I want to implicate that thing. For this, again, you can either use the ask AI, which I have showed you right now, or you can write the whole function from your own. So I'll just write the function here. So this is a function right here where I have listed all the country codes, and for this, it will check the country code, and if the mapping is right, it will provide that particular country code mapping. Now let's see whether it's working or not. Click run. So I'm getting plus one, plus 912, plus one, plus one. Okay, so the transformation is working. Now uh, you can either filter the keys you want, but if you want all the keys, you can just simply click on test and save. Remember the name what you are using here. The name is get all lead. Okay, test and save, and select get all lead right here and click on save. Okay, awesome. So we have fetched all the details right here. I will do some quick editing in this table grid. Uh, let's say you don't want the table grid to show all the detailed views such as mobile number and much more. You can just simply hide it from here. Let's say you can also shuffle the placement of the columns and like this. Name dot title. ID, name, company, job title. You can also add some formatting to the data just in case you want to do some sort of formatting. Mm, like for email address, you can select it and provide it as email and finish. Now I see that the email ID is provided in the email format of data. So our left hand side is done. Now moving on to our right hand side, I will drag and drop few controls to make it look. I will drag and drop few controls. So the first of all is detail view. So data controls table grid properties and table grid is working on our preview or not, and if you are selecting whether it is there in the details view or not. Okay, so in the preview mode, we have our table grid and it has all the details, and you can also add to a sorting just to check ID in the ascending manner. Okay, so the ID is coming, and if I select it here and it is showing right here. Okay, so this is working well. We are getting the ID, name, company name, all the details in our details view. Now, moving on to our next part is to send the email. Now, for sending email, I will be adding another off screen option, which will be a tray, and this tray menu will open from left to and on this tray we will create a form template which will have email ID, which will have email ID, email subject, email body, and also a prompt button. So let's just quickly fill it. I'll just simply click on bind data for this input text. Go to its bind data, and what I want is that I want the email address whichever is selected on table grid. So I'll just select from here. Now the email is coming. Now the subject and body both are to be made from with the help of OpenAI. So what I'll do, I'll go to the screen open action of the tray, click here, and do a server side action of like, open. Now click on generate steps. So right here you can see that there is a whole list of environments which you can configure. So I'm using the production environment right now, and There are three accounts right now which are being configured under this production environment. If you are having your own environment, you can just add your own environment and select the particular account. And in this case, I'll just simply select DronaHQ for production. Click on continue. So the model has already been selected. Now the prompt. So the prompt creates a very important role right now, and the prompt will decide that whatever the response, what type of response you are expecting from this particular OpenAI connector. So let me just quickly paste the prompt. So right now, so this prompt is I've created this prompt to generate the email subject. Now you can see that write a marketing email subject from DronaHQ to table grade dot company name. Now the company name, whatever is selected on the table, will be here like XYZ industry and regarding DronaHQ and its service in about 4 to 5 years, which is okay. Max open, continue. So then this will be OpenAI. Now under the success side, I will add the on-screen action of JS code. Now this on-screen action will, so let's give it a name of sub and give a test value. So the test value right now is, let me show you and do a test case. You can see that there are some extra letters like slash in and this thing, and also it is coming in a object format. So I want to remove this format, and for this we will do a JavaScript. We will provide a JavaScript code. So for a little bit of transformation, let's put it up here and let's do test it. So you can see that all the unnecessary characters have been removed. So it is a normal simply that subject on the first array. Just replace all these values with blank values. Now click on continue and add a variable. And this will be now the first thing was to generate the subject. Now the next thing on screen open, I want server side action again of OpenAI to generate text. But this time the text generation will be for email body. Now let me quickly fetch the prompt. So here is the prompt, which is like write a well-structured 100-word email body and to the lead of this, working as this, who met us at a dev tech last week, and this is a whole point which I am including in this thing. So let's just click on continue, and this will be open. Add a variable body. Now similarly, I'll just put up again another JS code of same type because I again want to do the refinement. And but here I'll select instead of subject, I'll select body. Body, body. Continue. the next step, we will add set control values. And this is just that whatever we have, uh, we got the data, and first of all, we just have to select the control. Let's say the first thing is subject. Now the value you want is action output, JS code, and this will be subject. Okay. Next is this one, and it will have the rich text editor, which will have the body of the email address. Email. Okay. Moving on to the prompt part. So prompt part is basically to it's like you have received an email body, but you want to add some more changes to it. Let's say you want to add a fact that there is an offer to it, or you want to add a fact that we have been met in the last month also, or some anything, any other details. So once you click on the prompt button and click on regenerate, we want that whole text to regenerate, including the prompt which we have provided. So what I can do, I can click on this button, go to its event, click on button click, and again do a server side action. Variable. Let's add a variable and save output dot success. The success. What I'll do, click on just in case. We will again add a JavaScript code. Okay, let's do continue. Add a variable, and the variable I want is return text. Return body. Let's say. Finish, and finally set control data, and this will uh, replace the value in rich text editor with whatever the output we are getting from the region body. Let's see how is it working. Then we will configure the send email part. Contact button will also have one button click event that will help us to navigate to the tree. So navigate, this will be an on-screen action, and navigate to continue. So let's save it and preview and see what is the progress up till now. So here is our list. Let's select one, click on contact. So email is generating. Let's see what is the status going on. And oh, so there is an error which we can see that it is output. So right here in this side, this is a logs where you can do a little bit of debugging and check what is like what a response you are getting, where the flow is getting broken for the connector purpose. And as we can see that we are getting the email body but not here. So there must be an issue with the selection of variables and setting up the data. So let's go back to our screen tray tool and on Sinopus. Okay, so the issue has been resolved, and we can see that we are getting a very cool and well curated email ID, email subject as well as email body for to send it to code and text contact at gmail.com. Now the next part for our app is to send the mail. Okay, let's get back to our tray. Go to the send mail button, click on events. Now in the event on the button click, we will add first of all a branch. In front of me, I have created two branches, and the reason behind I'm using branching to execute parallel logic. So, in one branch, I want to send mail to all the person who I want to contact from our list, and via the another branch in this particular demo, we will be sending email to the person who has opted as yes for news and updates. Now, the ideal example for branching would be like sending emails and messages, which you can implicate in your own application. Like, for instance, if you are creating an application where you are checking with the help of branch certain conditions that if this matches, I want certain type of mails or messages or WhatsApp text. Yes, you can integrate you can integrate them in the action flow itself. Branch one, let's keep that empty for now. Let's work on branch two. Then, so what I want in branch two is that first of all I want to render a server side action. It will be of Gmail. Now this Gmail will use the send email endpoint, and you can use the account. Again, the environments you can choose from your own choice, and please select the account you want to use for sending email and click on continue. So from email, you can just click on, and I will just select the user email right here, and to email it will be same as select it from controls email to CC. I don't want to send any CC and subject. It will be again from control subject. Content type it will be an HTML since we are saying that get the response from OpenAI as in the HTML format. So the content type also here will be set as HTML attachment. Now the attachment, I'm not sending any images or uploading any attachments, so I'll skip this and go to messages. Now in the messages, simply select the rich text editor. Okay, click on continue, finish. This should send email to the particular email address. Now, moving on to the branch one. So branch one, I'll give name as option. Now you remember that in our table we have data of a column as yes and no who have chosen as object. So the object part was for the people to send news and updates. So what I can do, I'll do table grade dot update equals to. So whoever will select opted as yes will the branch will shift to this. So now what happens that in the table column, if we select a row which has opted as yes for news and update, this particular trigger will this button event will be triggered in both of the side of the branches. So it will be happening in a parallel way. It will send the email as well as it will send the email for lead generation as well as for news and updates. So under this, to provide news and updates. So, what to send as news and updates, what you can do, either you can again get the data from your database, or in this case, I will be adding a variable name as updates. So, this is the details which has an ID, a feature, a description, link, and image. Now, let's just save it simply. Okay. So, it's saved. So the first thing is that we have to curate the email. Again, for curating the email, I'll use OpenAI, generate text, select the account and your environment. So here the prompt will be a different, uh, the prompt will be a bit different this time. So let me just quickly paste the prompt. Have is that create an attractive advertising email body on which only with each details present in. So all these details are being has to be used in the email generation. So this what refresh response. Let's see what type of data we are getting. What type of response we are getting. Let's see it. So we are getting learn all the features of DronaHQ. So we are getting it. So it is a positive response. So click on continue. Let's save all the responses. Uh, the response we are getting. Just simply click on finish. Again, share code. Finally, we will send the mail. Okay, so we are done with sending the email for who has opted as well as who has not opted for news and updates. So let's do a quick review. I previewed my app, so let's select one row and I want to send email to this particular contact. Let's wait and click on log to check whether what status we are receiving and which action has been triggered. So right now we are getting a very good email template and let's click on send mail. Now you can see that OpenAI generated test has been again been triggered. So that means that this particular person has opted for yes, as in for news and updates. Now two emails have been sent to this particular email. So this is the first email which we have received from DronaHQ, and this is regarding the unlock of the power of DronaHQ and all the details and like what is it. And this is the next email which we have received as introducing AI system in DronaHQ. It's like a total news and update. So you can see that there is an image, there is details about it, and you can simply click on it and it will assist you to the further link. So with this, our app is ready. The next part is to publish this app, share this app, and make this available to everyone. And this is very much simple. Like before you share, you just have to click on publish and write, let's say, version first and do a publish. And this publishing version, you can see that there is showing that 0, 0, and 1. And whenever you publish, this count goes on and on and on. So this helps you to revert back to a version to which you want to go back and do further changes. Or now that our app has been published, we can click on share button and here you can either give this to an organizational access or click on enable public access. So this will provide you the public URL and this URL can be helpful to be shared with your friends or this URL can be used to share with anyone this app and you have further options such as public URL configuration setting set up routing URLs and tracking and embedding this particular app your uh, to your website or somewhere else. We have built this app totally on cloud version, but if you want to perform the same thing in your on-prem version, so for this you can find the link in the description right below. That's it, guys. Thank you for watching this session. I hope you will build something out of this and create your own app. Thank you. Thanks so much.